Vigorous Poet. You can find me on Instagram at passion underscore letter N underscore poetry 79.
Good evening. I am Kari, and I'm on Instagram at visionary_tutor.ed.
So I'm Creek, real name Jerome Conyers. I am the owner and CEO of Dano Entertainment, and one of the founders of Audible Asylum with the dude that said "Don't look at him," but with Neil Carter.
My name is OTB. That stands for Only the Best. Real name Narvell Washington. I'm an artist. Don't pick any genre. I basically do it all.
Mhm.
The best at everything. So y'all can follow me on Instagram, only_the best.
Now, first question: do you believe chasing your dreams while being a present parent is actually possible, or do you feel like one side loses? Do you feel like it's a myth that you can balance both, or how do y'all feel about that?
You want to just jump in, or
Yeah, jump in. Y'all kind of just can go into the discussion, rebuttal off.
I think for me now it's easy because I get help with people that I can trust, which is my older children. So if I have events or if I got to go out of town, I know they can be somewhere safe. And I try to balance out throughout the month, not doing too much to try to still have time with them because I have little ones. So it balances out, right? For me now with the older ones.
Now, I guess it would be good for this episode to, I guess, say if y'all don't mind, how many kids you have?
yeah,
And kind of give a perspective and maybe how.
all of us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, all of them.
All of
Yeah.
us.
Oh, y'all looking at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go first.
Yeah.
It's still on you.
It's
Well-
probably in order.
Yeah.
No.
Jeez. Okay.
Ladies first.
Well, the Lord bless me. It's got to start off like that.
Yeah.
The Lord blessed me with 10 blessings.
Ooh.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, the Lord only gave me 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Manageable. Oof.
I'm not gonna say it's a blessing. I'm not gonna say it's a curse. But I created 5 or made 5, and I have 2 stepkids. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
I would backbone off that. I created 1 and I got 2 stepkids. But as far as the balance of me doing what I love to do, yeah, it was rocky at first. I would say that because making time to do music and then being a responsible parent, kind of, it's like you got to find out what times you could actually do your music or perform and stuff like that.
I would say it was the opposite for me. Like when I was younger, I had more family. Like I'm not from here, so moving here was a transition in and of itself. But there are necessary sacrifices you have to make, depending on how you plan or strategize to pursue your dream and what your dream is. Because there are some that require more time commitments, more travel commitments, more being away than being home, which is something I experienced recently. And I realized I just take it back to the roots. Like, I got to cut this out. I want to be there for those final moments before they hit adulthood, just like I was there for all the pediatric visits in the beginning.
Yeah.
Where you from?
I'm from Louisiana,
What part?
Shreveport. Park City, we talked about this. Air
Oh,
Force
see,
Base.
I got bad memory. I lived there twice. My bad. I
No,
messed
you're
up the
fine.
show.
I remember. It was like, remember you talking? Yes.
So how did you handle it?
How did-
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I don't. So like,
You said you don't.
no, I don't. Like, so, the question is balance, right? So you do have to have balance. So like, at one point I was going to school, full-time job, and then I had a wife, and then all those kids have different interests, and then you have to find space to be yourself. So part of being myself is the art, and then the plans for the future. So it's the plans for their futures, and like me making income after the military. So like all of that just requires a lot of balance and thought, and just some things just have to, I won't say suffer, but you just have to divide your time in ways that make sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just can't do the extra stuff, the fun stuff. You might not be able to do it, or as your kids get older, you can bring them to some of the fun stuff and some of the business stuff. That's the ideal thing for me. Trying to find something where it does satisfy and check all my boxes, all the things that I want to do, but also be able to bring them to. Some things we can't, like the asylum sometimes.
Sometimes the silent could be a little turned up.
I don't know how to answer that, Neil.
I think you caught us all off
I'm
guard.
about to say,
That's a deep
only
thought
place I can really think of, just going off your question, is like I know I wouldn't go to Chuck E. Cheese by myself, but being that I have kids, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my kids to Chuck E. Cheese and enjoy them running around acting crazy.
Maybe.
I would love to see you at Chuck E. Cheese by yourself.
Hey, they did have an adult party. It was.
I mean,
there's
yeah,
been
the
a-
pizza is
Really?
good. Wait,
Yes.
it just looks weird. You see an adult
T-ball.
you see an adult come in there by himself and
Yeah,
just
we
like
like, look
this
at
whole
this
bunch of
weirdo.
kids. Like, what is he doing?
It
here?
is better than Dave and Buster's. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Buster's is jumping.
Stealing babies' tickets and stuff.
Mhm.
Well, they got the wristbands now.
Oh, they don't even have a ticket?
Yeah.
That's how you can tell I don't take my kids no more.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't take my young kids nowhere. No fun.
Oh Lord.
Have you ever used your children to pull out of an obligation and then somewhat?
All
Oh,
the
man.
time.
I don't pull out.
Every time
so-
you don't want to do something, you make it.
Oh, man.
Take that out. I'm sorry.
Leave that in.
But
That's why I got 7 kids.
to be honest, I couldn't wait to have kids. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna use them to the advantage of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I can't go. My son, he is-
Dentist appointment.
you know what I'm saying?
Doctor's
Dentist
appointment.
appointment.
No babysitter.
No
Doesn't matter.
babysitter. You know what I'm saying? It was a
Just
whole
use my
bunch.
wife for that. She said we can't. She said I can't go. I gotta do some stuff. I ain't even talked to her yet.
Definitely. Especially family function.
Well, I don't typically use it in the lie perspective.
Okay.
It's actually an appointment, but I know for a fact my dentist is on point. It's you in and out in an hour. But I'm gonna take the whole day. Yes,
Take
I
the day,
am.
yep.
All 7.25 hours.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I always use them in the lab, but like, say I just don't feel like doing it today. Like, oh yeah, my son, he don't got a babysitter. His mom gone, and she might be right there in the house.
Yep.
I think the best thing is sometimes you don't have to say anything. If
Yeah.
people know you have kids, especially a
Yeah.
lot of them, if you show up late for something, they're like, it's cool. I know you got all them kids. Like,
Yep. I always
They
do
wasn't
that
even
with
home.
family.
They was the reason why I was late.
No, it was on time. They was all dressed.
They was ready to go.
Yeah, I was still in the bathroom singing, pop locking. That's what I do.
Church.
Take my time.
I had to take that last minute nap, you know.
Yeah. They always give you an excuse. I know you got all them kids. Yup.
Yep, exactly. It's the kids.
Appreciate you.
Mhm.
How have your children positively altered your creative path?
See, you shouldn't have said positively. I would have had a better answer. Now, like children do give you more inspiration, or they can give you more inspiration. So if you're like a poet or a singer, you have some more things to talk about. You can. Sometimes it can be. I don't want to say that they're detrimental, but like sometimes you feel like you don't have time to be creative sometimes because you are devoting a lot of brain space and energy to keeping people alive, if that's your thing. But yeah, so they do give you more things to talk about. Children sometimes will help you access more parts of your heart, especially if you are a male. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't really love anything the way you love a child.
Yes.
Even if you don't like really love your children, but
Yeah.
even subconsciously, it helps you just open up more parts of your heart and your brain to be able to be creative. If that makes any sense.
I have to say, like, I didn't open the box on like deep emotion until I had my firstborn. Like, there was a whole challenge to even having my child. So, like being told you're not gonna have children by a certain age, and then finding out you're gonna have a child, and then almost losing her 6 months in. It's just like, and then the whole birthing process of conflicting blood types. It's like there's so many things you don't know as a woman going into it. and you get hit with, and I thank God because that was like little bitty stuff, but there's women out here that go through way more obstacles to have a child. But I definitely tapped into a deeper part of my own emotions. Like I never used to cry when I watched a movie. Didn't matter what happened. It was just like, oh my God, that's psychologically, I just don't know how to process it. Now it's like I'm just in tears, and my kids look over at me like, "Are you crying from laughing, or are you crying like what's going on?" I was like, "Don't worry, it's about moment." So I'm appreciative of that, but not only that is that they made me hustle harder. Like everything I wanted, I got it. It took time. I had to, start at the bottom of the staircase and slowly work my way up little by little. But I'm so much more appreciative because I didn't just do it for myself. I did it for them. So when you always hear me say it's like my purpose, I found my purpose and my passion, I do it for the love of doing it, but I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My inspiration comes from my children as well. I've written a lot of poems because of them. Seeing them grow, seeing them go through their own things, it just made me get really emotional. And it's like, wow, I have one that's called A Mother's Rant. And I was inspired by talking to my older children because I'm always trying to keep up with, like, you can talk to me because I wasn't perfect. And let's sit down. If anything that we need to fix, let's fix it now. And because I allowed that, it was like, whoa. And all of a sudden, this poem just came together. And it's like, I'm crying while I'm writing it. And I'm reading it to them, and they're crying. I'm like, it was inspired by you guys.
Yeah, don't you find that it's just like a moment? Like you can't explain it when your goal as a mom is like, I just want to protect you and see you survive, to see all the milestones that we saw.
Right.
And then when they get there and they come to you like, hey, I just want to tell you about my day, or I just want to lay on your lap, it's like, that's all I could ask for at the end of the day.
I've seen so many parents that don't get that. And they're like, well, I must have did something right.
Right. Right. It's like,
They don't want to be under me.
I might have dropped you a few times.
Right.
We won't talk about those.
I would say my positive alternative was it was the first two. It wasn't even my son. I made a song 2-3 years ago named Lovers, and we was in the house one time, and I didn't know they mom like listened to my song, my music like that in the car. So we in the house, I'm playing it, and they just start singing it from the top of their lungs. I videotape it, and that junk just brought a smile to my face.
Yeah.
And like even the little boy, he did his talent show, and he did my song at the talent show.
Oh, for real?
So that
Glad he did that one and not another one.
yeah, of course. You got to keep. That's the only negative part about it, but it's kind of a good thing because like when you have kids, you gotta think like, all right, do I really want my kids listening to me talk about this, or would I rather them listen to them talk about something positive? And I kind of am in that space right now with music as far as being creative, because a lot of the music that I had before was kind of like raunchy and kind of explicit. So it's like, all right, what could I create that they still could like and they could be able to share with their friends? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of challenged me to be a better artist in that fact. And I even started working on like Christian rap music and stuff like that. So I feel like that inspired me. Just the little boy doing my song at his show was like, wow, you really are inspired by me.
Yeah.
And I don't even look at it like that. Like, all right, I did that song, it was just off the top of my head, and now you like it. So now I got to do some more music like this.
Because my kids can't do none of my stuff. Some of your kids were singing one of my songs, poems.
Wahid.
Yeah, I didn't want them to.
No, it was Wahid. That's who was the 10-year-old.
Yeah, it was a little much to hear
Which
them.
one was it? What?
Yeah, the childhood memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone dies in that song.
Yeah.
So, that was a little weird, a little jarring. Need to make some more content.
Yeah.
And then your babies inspire your content. Her feature, she made everyone cry. To the point where some people were talking about leaving. Like, oh, I can't stay.
I can't stay.
I can't stay.
How
It's
am I
too,
gonna perform?
too
after that?
emotional. Yeah, she went first. She was the first of the 3 features.
Oh my goodness.
And then we had to like get to like jumping around and singing again. I
We
was
had to take an intermission.
yeah, we did. We had to take it. I was crying. I was in the corner like this, like trying not to let nobody see me cry. Like a little baby. But yeah, no, that's dope though. That's wonderful. I like seeing y'all, seeing people's expression, and seeing people's experiences come out artistically. That's why I like being at the shows, just watching y'all. Just, I keep trying to be careful with the terms I'm using because I'm about to say like get off, but that's not what I mean. But you just get all of that out. Nope.
Has there ever been a time where you've prioritized your passion or career over your children?
Every day, right now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Sometimes I just sacrifice sleep to be able to do the things and be with the kids. Sacrifice sleep, which is horrible.
Because if you, I know you're right. So you have all these thoughts in your head, like, oh my God, I gotta get to a pen and pad. I gotta get to a pen and pad. But they're up, and it's like, and they're like, mommy. So I know when it's like that, they want to spend time with me. So like what Creek said, is like, I have to wait till they go to sleep
Yep.
Yeah.
and get all of this out.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 For my regular day job, that was the biggest reason why I gave it up. It's like, well, I'm a science person by day. So my dream was always to like work for some big organization, which I did. The last couple of years I was at the Space Grant, and that's under NASA. So we do all the education programs. And of course, we won't speak on the powers that be. But going in, I ask all the questions because I had a background in HR from New York. So I came in asking up front what it's going to be. And I was told one thing. When I get in, of course, it's another thing. And it's like, well, no, I didn't sign up for 16-hour days for my whole summer to give up my spring break and never see my kids for like 3 months straight. That's not what I agreed to. That was not on the table. And, that's a no-go for me. So I did my fair time there. But I also came to the realization, like, I didn't sign up to miss out on life. Like, there's a sacrifice of compensation that you have to make for sanity. And it's like, well, I don't care. I'll give it up. I want to see my kids when they have these achievement moments, and I want to be there. I am their biggest cheerleader, and they know that. So I could tell, the energy, the vibe of me being gone for that long, it was different.
Yeah.
It was like, I could walk in the house and say something and just go right over their heads because it's like, oh, you're never here. So what does it matter? They didn't say that literally by words, but their actions showed it. It's like, you're not here, so you are missing out. So, when you come back, we'll treat you the same. It was like, okay, deuces, I gotta go back home,
Yeah. I was kind of in the same predicament when I had my child, because was in a position. That's why I stopped doing the shows for a while, where I needed like to make a certain amount of money just to take care of home. So I had a job where they had me out of town like every week. So it was like I was missing the time with my son, seeing him grow up, seeing him take his first step and stuff like that. I had to experience that over the phone. So eventually I was just like, man, you know what? I'll go back and work at a dead end job before I miss out on another day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how just being in the military, missing a lot. Hey, go Iraq here, go to Korea here, miss a lot. See, we had to shut down the asylum because of my
Yeah, I remember that.
3-year-old. Yeah, we had to shut it down, and we almost shut it down again for my other son. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really about what is important to you and what do you want them to take with them.
Yeah.
Because as they're growing, these are the things that will either traumatize them or become triggers for them or propel them.
Yeah.
So, you got to be careful because, like, our whole theme has been the necessary sacrifices. What is truly necessary?
What's something you gave up as a parent that you secretly still want to pursue that you maybe don't already?
My hairline. That was way back before all these kids.
Waistlines now.
Yeah, waistline. Me too. Sure.
Just kidding. Um,
I would say I used to play sports a lot, and like I don't do that no more. And I want to get back into it, but at the same time, with working and coming home and taking care of kids, and then trying to find time to make music and create, it's like it's always get pushed back further and further away. So yeah, I grew up playing basketball damn near every day, and now I don't play at all. So I would love to get back to that.
Yeah.
I think for me and mine is flip flopped. Because the the majority of them when they were younger, I had to sacrifice. But now that they're older and I have still have little ones, it's like they help me out so much,
Yeah.
and they're proud of me, and they see my passion in writing and now acting and all that. They're willing to help me out. So it's like now I can pursue it
Yeah.
because of the older ones. Now
You
they're
invested.
all under the age, and they'll probably be like, oh.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm waiting for. I said I can't wait till they get older. Oh,
I waited till mine got older and I started again.
see, I don't plan on starting again.
Me
It's just
neither.
not me.
I did not. Because my first, I was 20 when my first daughter was born, so I didn't do a lot anyway. And I was still like shy artistically. Like I wrote a lot. I would do stuff on like YouTube and stuff,
Mhm.
but like I was kind of afraid of the stage, so I didn't do a lot anyway. But now it's like I'll find stuff to do, like like even like web design, DanoEntertainment.com, DanoEnt.com.
Yeah.
But even like web design and clothing design, like I'll start it, but then like the kids need, so it's like, all right, that's on the back burner. So
Mhm.
it's like it's more fluid than for me than just like, oh, I used to do this, now I can't. It's just like, oh, let's try this thing. Now I can't do it as much now because the kids have a need, and I just keep creating more people.
Well, I started in school, and I got pregnant. That was a teen pregnancy with my oldest, and when I found out I was pregnant with him, I was like, I can't write. I'm not gonna have to be a boy. It's over. It's over. So I gave up writing for a long time, and it's crazy because he ended up being the one to inspire me to write again
Mhm.
because he came out with his own book.
I remember.
Okay, that's what's up.
And I was like, you get that from me, boy.
Don't
I
don't
still got my poems from when I was a teenager.
don't you be excited though? Like, cause like when I had did the show, me and my son do that in the house all the time. He'll grab the mic and dance around and stuff like that. And it just like I was like, where did you get this from? They're like, oh yeah, he see you do it. I was like, what?
That's so dope. That's scary too.
It's scary. Like,
Yeah, because if you see you doing the wrong thing,
exactly.
I saw you do it, pops. Yeah,
Nah.
that's so dope, though. That's so dope. My
That's-
kids are just sarcastic. That's what they get from me.
Yeah, I mean, you are sarcastic.
I can't help it. I'm passive aggressive.
You can't help this one.
I'm passive aggressive. That's where that comes from. I can't fight like you, so
Man,
I just
he
use
been
my
saying that
words.
from day one. The first day he met me, I was like, you don't even know me. He talking about something. I'm scared of that dude. He kind of
You just look like you could fight.
man.
Do any of y'all have children that have children? Y'all?
Yes. Just had her.
What's something that you wish somebody told you that you would tell them? And for y'all that don't have grandchildren yet, what if you could maybe relay a similar message that you would tell them? You can still relate to that, so yeah.
Well, I ended up telling him when he found out she was pregnant that becoming a parent starts when she was pregnant. Being there for her, making sure that his girlfriend was emotionally healthy, taking stress off of her, and then talking to the baby. Like, so the baby can know your voice, the baby can hear you,
Mhm.
she'll know you when she comes out. And surprisingly, he already knew. And even now, telling him that when they get upset with each other or they're fussing, don't do it. Even though you may think that she's young, it can still cause stress on her as a baby.
Mhm.
So when they all have a disagreement, like, just come home. Don't argue in front of her. And treat the mother well, whether y'all together or not. Because you have a daughter. and she's going to see and she's going to sit back and watch how you treat her mother, whether y'all are together or not. And then you're going to get upset when she brings home someone that you don't approve because she saw how you treated her mother.
Yes.
So that was the biggest thing. So he's been rocking it out. Proud of him.
My
But-
baby just turned 18 on the 6th, so you even like mentioning being a grandfather just pissed me off. I don't even want to think about it.
My oldest are girls. My son is the one and only, and the baby at that. So with my girls, like you said, it was. I think it also depends on where the other person comes from and like their family culture dynamics.
Right.
But my ex-husband was that, just like you described, like what you told your son. He was talking to her, like the rosary, we were praying over everything. It was tumultuous because all of my kids moved from New York to Louisiana to Virginia to Texas to Florida, like all in the span of the first 5-6 years of life. So I felt a little guilty with that. But bringing them up and getting here, they found stability. They have childhood friends that they see what other parents do and how they operate. So they're like, no. Plus, they have 2 younger siblings now. They're like, nope, kid's not in the picture no time soon. They have like their whole little life plan for the next 5 to 10 years. I'm gonna go VPCC, and I'm gonna do this, and I'll get this certification in high school. So I'm proud and happy that they have like good heads on their shoulders, but they also have really good hearts because I've been down and out, and they're like, oh, I'll help you. So they don't, they get that. They're like, things happen, it's life. But when they see, they'll just remove themselves from a friends group or group chat, and they're like, yeah, no, that's not my vibe. Mommy, come say no, come get me now. And I'm like, okay, I got this. We got this. Let's do it.
I'm still pissed off.
I'm still pissed off.
No, that's not
Well,
it.
my kids aren't at the age to have grandkids, and I don't even want to think about that right now. But at the same time, I would give them kind of the same advice that Ruby just said. Like me being a first time parent, what two years ago, I had to do the same thing. Like my mom raised me. I didn't really have my dad in my life, so it was more like I see what she went through, and I knew off the top of my head, like, oh, when I had kids, I don't want her to want the person that I'm having kids with to go through the same thing, like to be struggling by themselves. So, what I would tell my kids, especially the boys, would be like, look, make sure you do everything you can to be in your child's life. Like you said, talk to the baby while him or her is in the stomach. Um, Make sure you keep a good line of communication with the baby mom. If y'all not together, if y'all together, then she gonna be stressed about stuff that you're gonna find silly, but you gotta be there for her to bring her back. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at all of that stuff. Like that's what I would teach like my sons. And then as far as my daughter, I'd just be like, you see how I treat your mom, you shouldn't settle for nothing less. If you got somebody that's not doing the same, they don't got to do the same exact things that I do for your mom, but if they not doing something that lines up to that, then he ain't for you.
But you guys as fathers have set the standard.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I guess, what the point was. It's like she set a standard that she's holding her son to.
Mhm.
He also probably developed one just from watching you because you were a model for him. And I know with my girls, that's a big thing that they always talk about. It's like, their dad is such a big supporter, their grandparents, their uncles, that they know they don't want to go out here and get into trouble.
Mhm.
And like, I don't want to be a part of that group, that stigma. I don't want to have those stressors. I want to be able to like enjoy my 20s and accomplish the goals that I've set for myself because they also know, like, looking at what the world is now, y'all
Mhm.
see these changes. Is like, it wasn't that hard for us. We didn't have the
No.
distractions, but we also didn't have, well, no, we did have some of the blatant racism, but
Yeah.
it wasn't, it's like it's going back to our parents' generation of being dangerous again.
Mhm.
Like we thought we fought that fight once and we got out of it, and we had maybe a little 10-year window of so-called peace. Maybe it was done under, in the dark. But now it's coming back to the light, and it's like, it's really scary
Mm.
raising kids now. It's like you don't know if your son or your daughter will make it back home, and they could be doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Thanks for depressing me again.
And I agree with you though, because like that's where I get back to how he was talking about the positivity with your craft and stuff. I think some of the stuff has to do with the music that they listen to,
It is.
Yeah.
because the kids love drill music, and it's like, why do you love that? They just talk about shooting somebody.
It's primal.
You know what I'm saying?
Primal.
And that's what they do. That's because I got a little brother, and he definitely went through a stage from 16 to like 18 where he was trying to do everything that he could to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I had to pull him to the side, like, why? Why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
What's the point? You know what I'm saying? I don't see the point. Be a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Everything you consume, everything you eat affects you. So the music is with
mhm.
it. It's like eating a bad
Music's
sandwich
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yeah. What do they call it? The vibrations.
Mhm.
The
Now, that's for
vibrations.
real.
No,
It's real though.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's like even the industry standard, whatever the
Hurts.
industry standard frequency is, it didn't used to be that.
No, I didn't.
And that frequency like is known to make people more volatile,
Mhm.
to cause them to have like, just emote differently. It's not calming anymore.
Nah, heck no. They was talking about that. They said they don't even have like female rappers that's like
Conscious.
conscious. They don't have no Queen Latifah's, no MC Lights and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
All of
It's
them
not
talk about the
mainstream.
same
That
thing.
was purposeful.
But
No,
they
for
purposely
real.
did it. They
Yeah,
did
it's
it
not
like that.
mainstream. You can't be successful as a female rapper or comedian without being vulgar,
Raunchy,
violent,
yeah.
or like
Sexualized
Yeah,
It seems
sexualized.
like
some way.
it's just for us.
Mhm.
yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
is-
Maybe you realize.
That's what they sell. And like none of our labels are owned by us anyway. Like,
Yeah.
it's all being controlled by people that don't have our best interests at hand or at heart. I think the only advice I would give, I was listening to y'all while y'all were talking. The only thing that I would add that I'm learning, I keep having to force myself to think about it. I'm always thinking about my children's future,
Mhm.
and I'm like stressing out, like, gotta send them all to college, gotta make sure they have money, da 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 da. So like sometimes I feel like I'm neglecting the present. So like I'm like, oh, I gotta get your 529 popping, and my son is like, can we play football though? And I'm like, no, we we need money.
Like, no.
Kids don't care about money.
They don't. They don't.
Like they want things, you know what I'm saying, but they need that time because I didn't
Yeah.
have my pop for most of my life.
Yeah.
Sometimes he would come around, give me $60. I'm like, this is dope. I can floss on the other kids for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm like, I still don't have a father.
Yeah.
But none of us had fathers. Like if anybody had a father, it was like dope.
It
Like,
was- yeah. You got a father in there?
like you soft. You got a dad, you go soft. You know what I'm saying?
We got pops in the house. But
But we would have rather had that time, and you remember that time.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll just let them figure out their futures on their own. Sell a brick or something.
Go ahead.
Play football. Get it off the block, bro. We playing football today.
Yeah.
I'm only half joking.
Yeah, I will piggyback off that. I'm glad to be here, man. This was a great discussion. It made me think about my kids even more. And I definitely got some good insight from y'all as well, because I know I'm not alone as far as artist goes, or entertainer, or poet, and stuff like that. So I just look at it like everything we talked about tonight was dope.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Neil for having me.
Yeah.
And you can follow me on Instagram.
Come to the Audible Asylum.
Come to the Audible Asylum.
Every first and third Sunday.
Just
I got-
walk through the door. I'm gonna hug
I
you.
do got new music coming out in June, so I'm excited for that.
Thanks for coming, Kari.
Thank you for having me. It was nice to meet all of you
Yeah.
and engage.
Y'all make me soft for my kids. I'm gonna go home and hug them. Cause the first thing I do when I grab them, and I'm like, oh God.